Good day, students. This is your examination-based contact session for English and academic communication skills, Year 1, Semester 1 for 2022. I am Mrs. Nieuwoud. My contact details are 081 128 9797 and my email address is cloter@afol.com.na. You can contact me during the day, Monday to Saturday, from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. By now, you know some of the courses have been combined. And the examinations for 2022, which are April, August and November, have been compiled and as requested by the IOL office using the study guides of the following courses: the DJPE, the DPPE, DES, BESP, ACSE, ACPE, DSE, and also, which is not here, CE. The following will guide you in your preparation for the examination for this subject. And the most important preparation that you have to do is the following. Firstly, work through your study guide with care and diligence. Do all the learning activities in the guide and then check the answers given at the end of the module. If you have not mastered the content of this study guide, you may have difficulty preparing for the examination. Ensure that you know and can apply the linguistic constructs of the language. Like everything else in life, a language must be practiced to perfect its use. The more you read, the better your language will get. The more you speak the language, the more confidence you will develop. The following is important information for your upcoming examination. The duration of the examination paper is 2.5 hours and consists of 120 marks. The examination script consists out of 4 questions with their subsections. It is important that you answer all the questions with the subsections. And the study material comes from your study guide for each and every course. I would like to point out that I am marking according to the study guide, not according to internet. You cannot copy and paste. You have to put the facts in your own words. You know very well what is plagiarism. You also know that you are going to be penalized if you copy and paste from your study guide, or for that case from internet. I am not marking any internet copy and pasted items. The content of these courses and these study guides are exactly the same, and references will therefore be the same. DPPE, BESP, DES, ACPE, DSE, ACSE, CE students will also be referred to the Lutheran book that has to be used as indicated in their study guides. The DJPE students only have to use the new IOL study guide. References will be made from this guide. The general information. Please make use of old question papers and feedbacks of previous assignments and examinations in your examination preparation. There you will find questions and answers that could be of good use. It's important that all questions consist of facts that you will have to study from your study guides and Lutheran books. For the language structured questions, you must understand the spoken and written language as well. Understanding the questions. Every piece of information can be assessed in a number of ways. The examination paper are set up in 3 levels, and each question usually starts with a verb. Please pay special attention to the verbs used and make sure that you understand what each verb means and what is expected of you in answering the question. For example, these verbs will guide you to what action you are expected to perform. Failing to perform the correct action will result in low marks or the loss of valuable marks. Please make sure that you know what the verbs in the front of your study guide means in order to answer the questions correctly. Make sure you know what the different verb instruction words on page 10 to 12 mean. It's important that all questions consist of facts. General ideas will not be awarded any marks. Plan your time wisely and write as quickly and neatly as you can. Manage your time to ensure that you finish in time. If time permits, read through your answers and correct possible mistakes. You must also make sure that you have answered all the questions. The instructions, it's very important that some students write everything in capital letters. Only use capital letters as indicated in the study guide and in the Lutheran book on page 10. This is very important when you write letters, essays, grammatical sentences, etc. The marker wants to see whether you know how to use a capital letter. And remember, you can't type also in capital letters. It doesn't work. The paper is set up so that you write on the paper itself. Some students write way too much and unnecessary information, while others write too little information. Also look at the marks allocated to each question to determine how many facts to write to obtain the correct marks. When changing sentences to the passive voice, indirect speech, or into the past tense, etc., please only write down the correct sentence. And I would like to point out that if the question states, rewrite the sentence, don't only write down the word. Rewrite the sentence means rewrite the sentence. It is confusing to the marker if you copy the given sentence from the exam paper and then write the correct answer. The lines given are limited and you might not be able to fit in the correct answer if you do it this way. Scripts for 2022. References are done according to the Kindle, as all the students have it. Page references are also done in brackets according to the actual study guides. And these references are for all the students. See which refers to your study material. Please note, only one presentation will be recorded for the examination scripts for April, August, and November 2022. There will not be a presentation for each examination as it was done previously. These references are for all the students. See which refers to your study material. For the April, August, and November 2022 examinations, you may concentrate on the following. References are not done in particular order, and the following are what you might get in any of the 3 examination scripts. Parts of speech. You will be given different parts of speech to identify underlined words in the sentences. You can find information about this in any good grammar book or in the Lutheran book. Every word in a sentence is named according to its function. For example, adjective, which is a describing word, like the blue sky or the ugly man or the beautiful girl. A pronoun stands in the place of a noun. A verb is a doing word. If I can do it, then it is a verb. The adverb tells us more about the verb. recklessly driving, neatly writing, for example. A preposition is a small word which usually relates two words or a phrase to one another. Please pay attention to that. A proper noun are the names and surnames of people, places, days of the week. Peter, Bintuk Sundays, Namibia, Angola, Checkers, etc. Usually a proper noun is written with a capital letter. Please note that parts of speech have nothing to do with the direct or indirect speech. Synonyms is a list of words will be given from which you must be able to choose suitable synonyms to replace words used in a sentence. Synonyms are words with the same or similar meanings. Synonyms are often interchangeable, but the word choice is dependent on the context of the sentence. This means that you must read the sentence to see if your answer fits the context of the sentence. For example, the synonym for big can be spacious or massive. In the following sentence, that is a big tree. The synonym in this case cannot be spacious, but it must be massive. Getting to the units. Unit 1 consists of general and academic listening skills. For the DJPE students, it starts in their study guides on page 15, and for the other courses, it starts on page 11. 1.1 is a good listening skills in general and social situations. 1.2 are non-verbal cues in listening comprehension, for example, intonation, personal space, gestures, intonation, and emphasis. 1.3 listening skills for note-taking and academic situations, for example, listening for purpose, meaning, structure, details, main points, opinions, facts, and conclusions, which you can either find for the DJPE students on page 51 and for the other students on page 15. For your sake, concentrate on the following: good listening skills and non-verbal cues. In Unit 2, general and academic reading skills. DJPE students will find it on page 77, while the other students will find it on page 19. 2.1 is the value of reading a lot, the importance and benefits of reading. I would like you to please note that there is a difference between the importance of regular reading and the benefits of reading. So make sure you know that. 2.2 concentrates on the features of a competent reader, which is also very important. The DJPE students will find that on page 86, while the other students will find it on page 22. Unit 2.3, the role of grammar and vocabulary in effective reading. 2.4, the comprehension of written texts. 2.5, the reading techniques, for example, skimming and scanning. Very important. DJPE, you will find it on page 146, while the other students will find it on page 24 in their study guides. You can also in Unit 2.6 find how to read texts, papers or magazines critically. Very important. How to read tests and examination papers. Very important. The proper use of a dictionary and a thesaurus. That is almost every time in an examination paper. In this unit, you have to concentrate on the following questions and make sure that you know it for the examination. Skimming and scanning. the use of a dictionary, a thesaurus, and a glossary. Critical reading, as well as the goals of critical reading, as well as how to identify a critical reader. A competent reader, extensive reading, the value of reading a lot, how to read your examination paper. In Unit 3, we concentrate on the general and academic English speaking skills. For DJPE students, it's on page 173, while the other students will find it on page 30. Unit 3.1 concentrates on pronunciation of English words, which is not that important. 3.2 is compiling a glossary of 50 new words and their meanings per semester. And in this unit sorry. 3.3, basic interpersonal communication skills. Ek is jammer. Beaks and Kelp, which is also always in examination papers. 3.4, oral etiquette in the following situations, like in a telephone conversations. Participation in meetings. 3.4.3, in interviews. 3.4.4, warnings are also in the papers, apologies, stating conditions. 3.4.5, introductions, greetings, welcoming and thanking. 3.4.6, agreeing and praise and disagreeing and criticize. They were in the previous examination, you had the question on those and you had really difficulty in answering that question. So be on the lookout. 3.4.7, public speaking and presentation skills, DJPE on page 227, DPPE, all the others on page 47. 3.4.8, interacting with learners in the classroom, with colleagues, heads of departments, school principal, etc. You will find it, the DJPE will find it on page 231, while the other students will find it on page 50. Then the use of the W questions for gathering information, could be a new question. And 3.6 are the common law guidelines for managing or chairing a group discussion. Concentrate on the following: effective communication, your communication skills, Beaks and Kelp, oral etiquette, and non-verbal behavior. Unit 4 are the linguistic constructs. This is usually your language question. Make sure that you know the nouns, proper nouns, abstract nouns, collective nouns. Make sure you know what it is and where it is used. A proper noun is the one that I told you earlier. It's always written with a capital letter. That's why you can't write everything in capital letters. The abstract noun is things that we cannot see or touch or measure, for example, friendship, kindness, courage, etc. Collective nouns, I love collective nouns. A collection of group of objects, people or creatures, for example, a flight of stairs, a gaggle of geese, a herd of cattle, a school of fish, all that stuff. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. Instead of saying Peter has Peter's car, then you'd say Peter has his car. Then that is the pronoun. His is the pronoun. Non-countable nouns. Some nouns are non-countable and are called uncountable nouns or mass nouns, like sand, water, sugar, etc. Abstract nouns, of example, freedom, love, power. You may be asked to choose the correct type of noun to match the given words. The tenses. You must be able to change sentences into the simple past tense or simple present tense or future tense, whatever the case might be. He sold pigs and bought a ticket, which is the simple past tense. Change it to the simple present tense. He sells pigs and buys a ticket. You can find your tenses on page 308, and the other students can get theirs in the Lutheran book on page 28. Active and passive voice can be a headache for the students, and you will be asked to change sentences from either the active or the passive voice to active or passive voice. In the active voice, the subject of the sentence does the action, does the work. The passive voice, the object becomes the subject and is the receiver of the action. For example, the children, which is the subject, kick the ball, which is the object, into the pool. And when you change it, then the ball, which is the object, is kicked into the pool by the children. Make sure that you know that. Prepositions. Prepositions are small words that usually relate two words or phrases to one another. For example, on, after, from, with, in, etc. They also indicate location in space. You will have to use given preparations to complete the sentences. In this case, please read your sentence after you've filled in the preposition, because sometimes you fill in the preposition and it doesn't make sense at all. Direct or indirect speech. When you change sentences from the direct to the indirect speech, you must leave out the question marks and the inverted commas. Please remember that. You will lose your marks for putting them in. Pronouns change, for example, my family changes to his or her family. Tenses change. Mary said. Mary said, it's the past tense. I am feeling good today. She's talking now. Mary said that she was feeling good that day. You will have to change sentences from the direct speech to the indirect speech and vice versa. Prefixes and suffixes. A prefix comes before the word, the root of the word. Engage, disengage. A suffix comes after the root of the word. For example, free, freedom. You will have to complete words in sentences using prefixes or suffixes. You will also be asked to either circle or underline the prefix or the suffix in a given word. DJPE students, you will find that on page 414, and the other students will find it on their Lutheran books on page 46 and 47. Synonyms and antonyms. Remember, synonyms are words with the same or similar meanings. Antonyms are words with the opposite meanings. You will have to give the antonym of a given word, or you will also be asked to substitute words with suitable synonyms. You can be asked to use antonyms or synonyms in sentences of your own to show that you understand the meaning of the word. Homonyms and homophones. Homonyms are words that are spelled and pronounced in the same way, but they have different meanings and functions. For example, cricket, which is a sport, or cricket, which is an insect. Homonyms and homophones you will find for the DJPE students on page 415, or for the other students in their Lutheran books on page 54. On the other hand, homophones are words with the same sound but with different spellings and meanings. For example, bear, which is an animal, and bear, which can be naked. You can also be asked to make sentences with these words to show that you understand the differences in meaning. Diminutives is, like I always say, the small things, the babies of the bigger thing. You like a lion, the baby of a lion is a cup. The baby of a swan is a cygnet. The baby of a stream or a river is a streamlet. And during the past examination, I found that you Googled these words, and then came upon very funny words. Remember, as I said in the beginning of this presentation, I am marking according to the IOL study guide, not according to Google or internet. So, the plural, you must give sentences into the plural form. For example, the neighbor has a son and a daughter. When you do it in the plural form, the neighbors have sons and daughters. The verbs, you will have to complete a given text or a sentence by using the correct form of the verb in brackets. You can also be asked to circle or underline the correct form of a verb given in brackets. Idioms, I love idioms. You will have to make your own sentences with idioms to make the meaning of the idiom clear. And idioms, you will find DJPE from page 377 up to page 383. The other students will find it in their Lutheran book on page 56. Please do not explain the meaning of each idiom. You will have to use idiomatic expressions in sentences to show that you understand the meaning of each. Plagiarism, very, very important, and pay careful attention to this. Copy and pasting are also plagiarism. Put every fact in your own words. In any case, it's going to help you to study it and remember it better. Don't copy and paste. Don't give me the whole study guide again. I know the study guide, so don't copy and paste them. Don't rewrite the study guide for me. Put it in your own words so that I can see that you understand the facts. Make sure you know the importance of plagiarism when doing your assignments. You can find this information in front of your study guide under Word of Welcome. Make sure you know how to use quotes in academic writing to avoid plagiarism, and that is essential for your assignments. Ways to avoid plagiarism. Quotes. One way to avoid plagiarism is to use quotes. You must be able to discuss the use of quotes in academic writing. Please do not confuse quotes with quotation marks or inverted commas. DJPE students can find them in their study guide in Unit 4.1.2 and the others in 4.8. Now we get to the examination preparation and writing tips. Your exam timetable. Make sure you know where you write your examination, what time it starts. And if you don't have the details, consult the IOL officers. And do not ask me for it because I don't know. I am only your tutor and I'm only the marker. Ask the IOL office for any details concerning administrative stuff. Materials. Remember to carry enough pens, pencils, a watch, a ruler, glasses. Seeing that we are doing now these examinations online, but still make sure you answer all the questions. and read the exam paper several times to make sure you understand the instructions and the questions. Do not dive into writing without first reading the entire paper, and calculate how much time you will spend on each question and stick to it. Please do not panic, but if you panic, which is very normal for some people, it is advisable to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, and this will slow down the heartbeat and remove your panic. When you are going blank, in case of you going blank and you cannot remember anything, take a few deep breaths for a few seconds and then write down keywords on the exam paper to help your memory. You can also try to remember the day you studied the topic for the question being asked and see if this helps. Emergencies, which can happen. If you fall ill during the exam sessions, immediately notify the invigilator for the correct action to be taken. In general, obtaining high marks in your assignment does not guarantee high marks in the examination, and this is very important for you to remember. You now have to ensure that you know the content of your assignments and other information from the study guide, as well as this presentation, to succeed in the upcoming examination. Make sure that you have all the information you got from the contact sessions and the feedback of your assignments. You will find very important and useful information in these sources. Please study hard for the upcoming examinations to be successful. If you need my help on anything concerning the study material, you are welcome to contact me outside business hours, either on my email address provided below or on my cell phone number. I prefer that you contact me via email because then I'm able to give you a well-constructed answer. I can also send information via WhatsApp on your cell phone. My cell phone number also appears in this presentation. Always please state which course you are doing when making an inquiry. I wish you all of the best for the upcoming examinations for 2022.